What's going on, everybody? It's SJG, and welcome to HBCU Game Day. We are in the bowels of the venerable Norfolk Scope in Norfolk, Virginia for the MEAC Tournament, and I happen to be sitting beside not only an athletic director of a MEAC institution, but also a MEAC Hall of Famer.
Not yet.
Soon to be MEAC Hall of Famer, South Carolina State Hall of Famer, and a certified hooper. Look, I'm telling you, in the press conference that we just had, they were asking if this lady had any eligibility left. So I want to welcome you guys, Keshia Campbell, acting AD at South Carolina State. And we're just going to have a good conversation today about everything you guys have going on. So welcome to the platform. Thanks for hopping on. You're my first interview of the tournament. So
great.
So I will always remember you for that. And
thank you so much for having me.
You showed up decking the halls with boughs of holly.
Yes, we try to represent Orangeburg as best as we can.
Right. Got to get a little glitz and glamour down in the Berg. So I get it. We're at the MEAC Tournament. So today is day one. You have, for everybody who doesn't know, AD Campbell's been acting AD since August 10th. But she is a South Carolina State legend as a player. Here at the MEAC Tournament, basketball day number one, your women just went out. Tough loss for them, but they're a young team. Coach Eatman had a lot of great words for what you guys are doing with the program and everything. Just talk about, your women's team there at South Carolina State and how you guys are, trying to build for the future.
Yes, Coach Eatman took over the program in mid-July and did not have the opportunity to recruit. However, what he has done is he's trying to establish himself and his philosophy within the program. And I think he's done a really good job coming in and just pretty much taking, if you will, the ingredients that were there and trying to mold them. But he's very meticulous about what he does, about how he recruits, and his approach to the game. And I really enjoy watching how he manages his program. He does an excellent job with his program. I do not have any issues when it comes to Coach Eatman and the way he manages the women's basketball program. And I'm excited about the future. First half of the game, it was tight. And again, like he said during this post-game press conference, it was pretty much, Norfolk just pretty much, I felt like we were running out of gas when Norfolk kind of pushed the pedal down, especially in the fourth quarter.
Gotcha. And then the men's game is still yet to come. Coach Martin has done a great job with the program there, getting the job, late in the cycle, kind of having to build a team there. Maybe not the record, that's ideal record, but just with everything that has been thrown at the coaches and everything like that. Just talk about him and building that men's program.
Right. Coach Martin has done an excellent job with the program. If you go back and look at our schedule and our records, the scores, you're going to see several games that are very close, that were right there as far as winnable games. So that is some encouragement even for this tournament. I really think the parity in this tournament on the men's side is very tight. I really think that we can do well tonight. I'm excited about this game at 6 o'clock. I really think that's probably going to be one of the most competitive games that's in the tournament this week. But Coach Martin, again, came in mid-July around the same time as Coach Eatman and did not have the opportunity to recruit either. However, he has taken what was remaining, and I feel has done a really good job in getting those players going. And again, if you look at the scores, they are close. You'll see where we've lost games by 1 point, 2 point, 3 points, 4 points. The last time we played Howard, we lost by 4. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So no doubt about it. A lot of things, quick turnarounds and things like that, including yourself. You've been acting AD since last fall, and that means the business of everything still has to go on, and you kind of got thrown in there. So I know just a little while ago, the news broke that you guys are going to be playing Florida A&M. I know when the schedule came, everybody, it's basketball season, but everybody loves to talk about football, right?
My goodness, yes.
When the schedule came out and they weren't on there, and I think people were expecting to be there, but from what I understand, that was never on the books, right?
That was never on the schedule. In fact, I first saw it on Facebook. People kept putting out that we were playing FAMU 2023 on Facebook. So I go into Gridiron and I'm logging in, and I had to request a login. So when I finally get in, I don't see the FAMU game there, and I called down to FAMU, and this predates AD Sykes. And I spoke with the interim AD at the time, and I think his last name is Smith, I believe it was.
Yes.
And I spoke with him, and I said, hey, was there a game between South Carolina State and Florida A&M? Because I'm seeing something. And he said, no, we never had anything. And of course, I checked with with Coach Pugh.
Because they had a change and you had a change too within a couple of months. So.
Right. So there may have been a conversation, possibly, but there was never anything in writing. Because I even went as far as checking with our general counsel's office, because all of our games have to be contracted, so outside of conference. So there was no record of that. So once AD Sykes came aboard, I reached out to her and said, hey, let's see if we can get some games scheduled. So the earliest that we could was 24 at the time, because the other dates did not work. We were trying to get 23, but my opening versus her opening were not the same.
Yeah, and now with the way the MEAC is with the smaller footprint right now, you guys do have to do a lot of scheduling out of conference and things like that. So I'm sure that makes it a challenge. But I know great for the people at home. Just want to let them know that game was never on the books. It was
never on the books.
It was never, but it will.
We were not afraid.
Right.
I got all of that. That we were afraid of FAM because we lost.
Florida A&M people saying that you're afraid of them. I can't.
We had some Florida A&M football players tweeting that out as well. So, but no, that was never the case. But we look forward to having those relationships, continuing those relationships, because for us it was natural to play FAMU and Bethune-Cookman. So we are trying to ensure that we keep them on the schedule, and we're also going to be probably looking at some other SWAC schools as well. We have Alabama State. We had to push that game out a little bit against Alabama State because of a gap that we had in our schedule for next year. Coach Pugh didn't want 2 weeks open back-to-backs, and I don't blame him for that. So we reached out to Alabama State, and it's our home game, so we pushed that out a few more years. So I think right now they're scheduled to come back to us in 2026. But it is difficult having only 5 opponents in the MEAC playing football. We need some people to come back to the MEAC. It would be lovely to welcome some Pirates and some Aggies back to the MEAC.
We got direct.
Yes, I'm giving them a shout out. And we can welcome some Rams too.
Hey man,
we ain't back to the MEAC.
We on what my man say on Pay the Fool. I'm broke. I ain't got no money. But I would actually enjoy, for sure, a WSSU South Carolina State football game, for sure. So
absolutely.
Who knows? Maybe we'll talk these things into fruition.
We may be able to still do that even if you do stay in the CIAA.
Right.
Yes.
So and talking about that, talk a little bit about yourself, your road to South Carolina State, because it is Women's History Month. It is March Madness as well. You had a great career at South Carolina State. Just talk about how you got to South Carolina State and your accomplishments there.
Well, Stephen, I was brought in by the late, great Willie J. Simon. Coach Simon coached a team that won the AIAW National Championship in 1979. And
that's before the NCAA had the...
Correct.
Right.
Thank you for that history lesson. There was no NCAA championship for women.
Right.
So during that period, during that era, Coach Willie J. Simon and South Carolina State University Lady Bulldogs, or South Carolina State College Lady Bulldogs, won the national championship. So we have a national championship banner within the walls of Smith Hammond Middleton Memorial Center in Orangeburg. But I was recruited by him. He left after my freshman year, went to Maryland Eastern Shore. I finished my career at South Carolina State under Lyman Foster. But I really I enjoyed my time at South Carolina State as a student athlete. I cannot think of a better decision that I could have made for myself. I was highly recruited out of high school. I did take a visit to the University of South Carolina and some other Division I schools, but my heart was with South Carolina State, and it was really connected to Coach Simon. I cried like a baby when he left, but I really was connected to him initially, but then the nurturing that I received at South Carolina State was second to none. I know that I probably would not have gotten that at those larger schools. Probably would have been swallowed up. This little girl from Blenheim High School, small town, family where, extended family, grandparents and aunts and uncles. So I was really close to my family before going to college. But then once I got there, it was like family. A lot of my friends that I have to this day, people I stay connected with, I met at South Carolina State. Now being back there, I'm hoping that we can develop some of those same stories among our students and student athletes. We have some amazing alumni. I always tell people, if you put South Carolina State on your schedule, we travel deep. Hint, hint. Meaning we're gonna buy your tickets. So we have alumni who support. We just celebrated our Founders Day, 127 years of history of South Carolina State.
Amazing.
And we just celebrated that over the weekend.
Only public HBCU in the state of South Carolina?
The only four-year public institution college in South Carolina. We are trying to get some more funding from our state to step the game up a little bit, right, and support us a little bit more. But I really feel confident that it will happen. We had some really good meetings as of late. Our President Conyers, who's also an alum, right, delivered a very good ask of our legislators, and hopefully we will reap the benefits of that, because it is definitely very much needed. We also, over the weekend, inducted several members into, I think it was 13, into the Thomas Miller Society. And that is people who donate, who have reached pretty much a minimum of $100,000. Wow. So once you reach that $100,000 level, you are considered a member of the Thomas E. Miller Society. Thomas Miller was the first president of South Carolina State College. Wow. Well, it was named Agricultural, Industrial, Normal, State School.
Yeah, those names they gave us,
it's
right,
some
right.
name, and the alumni are probably cringing right now who are watching this, so saying that she needs to get that name together, but it was a different name than South Carolina State College back then.
Right.
But
I had to start somewhere.
Right. So, but we definitely have great support among our alumni, among our supporters. South Carolina State has a rich history of producing great people, great athletes. We have 4 NFL Hall of Famers. How many other schools, period, can say that? Not too many.
Right.
Across the country.
Right.
But among HBCUs, we do have rich histories, and like Coach Eatman said during his interview a few minutes ago, we really need to do a better job of telling our story. And I think you guys do a really good job. HBCU Game Day,
We appreciate that.
HBCU Nightly. We're, other platforms. I don't want to leave anybody out, but all of our HBCU coverage that I see, I'm a Twitter person, so that I see on Twitter, you guys are doing an excellent job getting the word out about our HBCUs, and we have a lot of positive things that we can offer the world. And this conference, the MEAC, South Carolina State was one of the founding members of the MEAC.
One of the few that have never strayed.
And we have never left. And if I have anything to do with it, we will never leave. However, we definitely would like to attract new members. We're going to need to in order for us to thrive. It's like you said, it's very difficult for us to schedule. The next 24 and 25, those are 12 regular season games for us. So going from 11, now I got to add one more. That's going to be a little bit more difficult.
And finding someone who's not afraid to play you guys,
Right, and then you have that part. We only won 3 games, so let's go ahead and get you guys on the schedule. We only won 3 games this past year, so
they're not letting y'all play possum. Y'all still got Buddy Pugh over there.
It's kind of safe to play us right now. Yeah, but yes, Coach Pugh, yes, he is still there, and he has a strong staff that I am very blessed to work with and interact with on a daily basis. And coaches in our other sports, our tennis program is thriving. Coach Hardeep Judge, I mean, you can't find a better human being who coaches tennis, but then also pours his soul into the university. But then also track and field, we brought back Donald Cooper. He was at Bethune-Cookman. He's doing an excellent job. We have Melissa Robinson, who's a volleyball alum of South Carolina State. She's come back now to serve in the role of our head coach. And then we made our interim women's soccer coach. She's now serving as the head. That's Liz Amanda Brown. And then we have Todd Matthews coaching softball. In fact, they should be playing right now as we speak at home against St. Peter's. And then I know I'm leaving out a sport. What is my sport that I'm leaving out?
Did you touch soccer?
Soccer, volleyball. I think I covered everybody.
Well,
I think I covered everybody.
It's a
Give
lot.
everybody some love.
Well, we appreciate you for coming on for sure. I know you're in the middle. You just had your women's game.
Yes.
Your men's game is still yet to come. But I just want to appreciate you for being open to talk to me, and to give folks kind of a look behind the glass of how things go on. Happy for what you guys are doing at South Carolina State. We all have challenges and things that we have to overcome, and definitely we'll be keeping our eye on what's going on in Orangeburg. And thank you so much for just giving the chance to speak to the platform and let everybody hear from you.
And those of you who are not in Norfolk for the MEAC tournament, get here by 6:00. We tip off at 6.
Plane, train, or automobile. So.
That's right.
Right. Well, thank you again. This is AD Keshia Campbell of South Carolina State University, and she's doing great work down there in Orangeburg. Appreciate you guys for watching HBCU Game Day.
Thank you.